Hi guys, Sharath here. So in my last video I discussed about how to create a subscribe form for Jekyll blog. In this video I'm going to discuss how to implement or how to use a famous Jekyll theme, Lanyon, for your blog or for your website. So Lanyon is a very minimal Jekyll theme which has all the basic necessities of a standard website. When I look for websites or when I look for themes, I look for the menu bar, whether it has one or not. So this theme Lanyon has a very good menu bar, and it is responsive as well. When you use it on a mobile device, it works the same way, and it looks good as well on mobile devices. So this theme is created by Mark Otto. So if you're not sure who he is, he's the one who created Bootstrap, the CSS framework. And he has created some other themes as well, like Poole, and there is one called Hyde. That is also good. I'm going to discuss only about Lanyon here. If you want to configure Poole or Hyde, you can use the same method though. So when we try to apply a Jekyll theme, we face a lot of issues. Usually, sometimes the theme is not configured well, or it's not up to date, or it is configured for a different web address, a custom domain maybe. There are many issues that can happen. There are many things that can go wrong. I have discussed pretty much everything in this post. You can go through the article in my blog. So I'm gonna be going through the process. Whatever the issues we face, I'm gonna be solving them, I'll tell you how to solve them. So first thing is finding this theme. So one thing is it will have a project page, GitHub project in the theme, or you can go directly here, or in your GitHub repository you can just type Lanyon and find it. You can do it in any way you want. So looks like this is the one with too many forks. Yes. So you may know the basic process here. We have to fork this. It has a master branch and GH pages branch, but we don't need that GH pages branch yet. I'll tell you how to delete that. First we fork this to our repository. So once we do that, we get it in our repository. Red Gadget is my account. Inside there is a new repository called Lanyon. So first thing is we have to delete that GH pages branch. Why we have to delete that? Because here GH pages is used to host it, and they have a custom domain name called lanyon.getpool.com. So we don't want that. We'll delete that. So we just want the master branch, and we are going to use that to create a new GH pages branch. So you have to create one. And now it is a good idea to make that GH pages branch as default. So here master is the default. I'm going to change default to GH pages. So yeah. Now when you come back, GH pages will be default. I mean, master will be like at the bottom. Now if you go to settings, you should see a URL which shows where it is hosted. But here it says your site is using relative permalinks configuration option. So whenever there is configuration option, whenever you see your configuration has something wrong, it means that config.yaml file is wrong. I mean, it has something that is that's deprecated, or it shouldn't be used. Here there should be a relative permalinks true. So this is something is deprecated in Jekyll 3.0, and we should remove that. So once we remove that, we should get the URL. So I'm committing the changes. So this is a config.yaml file, by the way. It has all the configurations of your website. Now when we go back to settings, now we have that. When we click on it, we should get this theme actually right away. But let's see what we get. So what I got is this. So it looks doesn't look like the website because it doesn't have the sidebar, it doesn't have the styling. So what is missing here? It has all the content though. What actually missing is the style. So it is loading the style files, that is .css files, from /public/css/pool, but it should have loaded it from /lanyon/public/css/ so every asset should load from /lanyon, so because that is our repository, so it should load it from the root of our repository. So Lanyon is our repository. So the thing is, we might be missing a base URL here. Let's see our configuration file. What do we have there? So in config, the base URL is not configured to anything. So what we can do is go ahead and change it to /lanyon. Sometimes you might need another /. It doesn't make any difference, but I think this is gonna work now. So base URL is configured to be /lanyon. That means now the assets are loaded from the base of a repository. Now this should work. Yeah, now it's working. And now if you look at the source, so it is loading from the base. It has 2 slashes, which is not necessary. We can go back there and take out 1 slash, the one on the right side. That is totally not necessary. And here, if you refresh, that should go away. Okay, now all the assets are loading from Lanyon. So this is the same thing for JavaScript files. If they have mentioned any JavaScript here, it should load from the base, but I don't think they have any JavaScript here. Anyway, now it works pretty much like the website itself. But here I see another slash here. Lanyon, after Lanyon there is another slash. This probably is a problem with the index. In index sometimes they mention extra slash, which is totally not necessary. So here if you go back to the site, this is the index actually. So that is first post, this is second post, and this is the third post. So if you look at the or inspect the source, you see that they have slash and there is another slash. So this is problem with the index file. So we can go back here. So this is site base URL and then they have a slash, which is totally not necessary. So we are going to take it out. Once we remove that and commit, this should be all right now. So now it is it's all right. Took it out. Now if you were to visit the first post, yeah, now you don't have that slash. Sometimes people change the name of this repository. By default it is Lanyon. They change it to something like blog or something, and when you go to settings, you see that the URL is changed /blog, and when you open it up, you see something like this. So again, something is wrong. When you look at the source, it is loading from /lanyon/public, and all the assets are loading from /lanyon. This is because in base URL we mentioned that the root is /lanyon, but when we change the name of the repository itself, the root changes to /blog. So you have to go back to the code, and in the configuration file you have to change the base URL, which is /lanyon to /blog. Only then it will load the assets from the root. Now if you come back and refresh it, and maybe a few times, so you should get the website again. So that's how that's what you do when you change change the name of your repository, you should also change the base URL. That is something people often forget. So these are some of the basic problems that you face, but there can be other problems as well. So if you want me to make a video on some other problem that you face very often, or some other feature that you are not able to install or implement on Jekyll blocks, you can always ask me in the comment section. I can make a video on that. So thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.